Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Kentucky is getting more than $9 million in grants. That money will go towards fighting the opioid crisis. Vice President Mike Pence made that announcement today during his first visit to the mountains. Miranda Combs was part of the press motorcade today, and she wraps up his visit to Clay County and also has more on an unscheduled stop in Laurel County.
It could never get old seeing a representation of your country land in your little part of the country. Vice President Mike Pence taxied down London Corbin Airport, had a brief visit with Governor Matt Bevin inside Air Force 2, then side by side they exited the plane, greeted by officials from every county and city anywhere near London. Vice President Pence took time to shake hands, take pics and hugs, and some media questions.
Vice President, we are, though, in Clay County, are headed there right now, scourged with pills still, scourged with crystal meth. What do you want them to walk away with when you leave today?
Well, we're going to talk today about an innovative program that our armed forces are partnering with local law enforcement, providing necessary health care, including remedies for people that are dealing with drug abuse and addiction.
And then we ended up at Weaver's Hot Dogs.
Okay, but the chili bun is an actual hot dog.
Well, no, the hot dog has the chili on it.
Oh, good. The bun has got the chili in it. Okay.
No, had no idea he was coming. So this is, we're very excited.
Weaver's has been a family business since 1940.
Are you nervous about serving to a vice president?
Oh, just a little bit.
I told the governor I'd buy for him.
How about you let me get it today?
Huh?
And then, next time
I'm just going to leave a very large tip.
Next time you're in town, I'll let you pay. How about that?
Huh?
No grilled onions. All right.
I like grilled onions, but I'm about to have to go talk to a bunch of people.
I understand.
These patrons had no idea they'd be eating chili dogs while the vice president joined them. Maybe part of the fun for everybody.
I don't know that we've ever met, though. Nice to see you, sir.
Vice President.
We then were whisked away back into the motorcade, arrived at EKU to learn about innovative readiness training when military with medical backgrounds from all over the country come to rural areas to offer free services.
I think it's a great point. I can't help but believe that that families in Eastern Kentucky who are working with or obtaining services from these men and women might well have young people that take a fresh look at military service.
After speaking to 250 guests about the hope for Manchester to pull out of this drug epidemic and the IRT program there to support them, we were back in the motorcade and got the chance most media don't get to have. We waved goodbye and watched a moment in Clay County history head back to home base. In London, Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Now you can find much more on Vice President Pence's visit, including his entire speech in Manchester, on our website at WYMT.com. Well, hundreds of people spent their morning lining up outside of EKU's Manchester campus, hoping for the opportunity to see the Vice President. Some got there hours before the doors opened around 10:45 a.m. Ruth Schellinger stood in line with her 8-year-old daughter. She was hoping the event would bring people together.
A sense of community, a sense of togetherness. That, we have the whole community here today, the whole town here today. I'm just hoping that once we hear everyone speak and hear the Vice President speak, that everyone will feel a sense of unity.
The nearly 350 people in line made it inside before the doors closed because of capacity restrictions. The few people who showed up after the doors closed still had the opportunity to watch the event from an overflow area. Tonight, the search continues for a missing Tennessee inmate who's suspected in the murder of a prison guard. This man, 44-year-old Curtis Watson, remains on the run. He escaped from the West Tennessee State Penitentiary yesterday. Deborah Johnson was found dead on prison grounds Wednesday. She worked at the prison for 38 years. Watson was serving a 15-year sentence for especially aggravated kidnapping. Officials said Watson worked on a farm detail and apparently used a tractor in the escape.
Make no mistake, we need Tennesseans to be vigilant. We need folks in this state, and particularly in the region where this occurred, to report any and all information to local law enforcement and to the TBI. This man is considered extremely dangerous, and we need to find him.
Officials say he could be anywhere, including Kentucky. The reward for Watson's capture is now up to $52,000. Governor Bevin ceremoniously signed 4 new anti-abortion bills into law today. It comes as the ACLU is fighting to keep Kentucky's last abortion clinic open. The EMW Women's Surgical Center in Louisville is the only clinic in the state that performs abortions. One new law requires abortion centers to have a written transfer agreement with the hospital and a transport agreement with an ambulance company. A judge in federal court struck down the Kentucky law, saying it does not enhance patient safety. Now the case is in the Federal Court of Appeals. Jury selection began today in the case against the father of Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes. Earlier this week, a judge ruled prosecutors can argue Jerry Lundergan broke campaign laws in 2 of his daughter's state campaigns. Lundergan is not charged in connection with Grimes' state races. He is on trial for allegedly making illegal contributions to Grimes' 2014 Senate campaign. Dale Emmons is also on trial. The Pineville Community Hospital is now providing services once again. Last night at 7, hospital services stopped, but less than 24 hours later, they reopened. Hospital officials say the reopening was made possible after several calls were made to get the city of Pineville to work with an investment group to help keep the hospital running until a more permanent solution can be found.
And this hospital is needed in this community. This hospital is needed in Pineville. A strong history. We've got 81 years of history behind us, and we're just looking forward to it continuing.
The hospital reopened around 3 this afternoon. The situation will be discussed during another special called Pineville City Council meeting tomorrow at noon. The city of Boonville in Owsley County lost their mayor of 60 years this past weekend. Charles Long was believed to be the oldest mayor in America. He died at the age of 99, about 2 months shy of his 100th birthday. Long was first elected mayor of Boonville in 1958. Friends say he worked to make the town a better place until the very end.
It wasn't the number of years that he served that was so important. It was the quality of the service that he provided to this community.
Mayor Long's funeral was held today at the Boonville Presbyterian Church.
Overall, it's been a pretty nice day here in the mountains. It was a gorgeous evening as well. Got a lot of sunset pictures over there on my Facebook page if you want to check a few of them out. But let's go ahead and take you to downtown Whitesburg. A quiet evening over there. Could be dealing with a little bit of that patchy dense fog later tonight, early into tomorrow. But for now, looking pretty good. As we look at satellite and radar, you'll notice those showers and storms have stayed to the north and a little bit to the east of us. Charleston's getting in on a little bit of those rain chances, but we have remained dry throughout the day. You'll notice temperatures into the upper 60s to lower 70s, especially down into the Cumberland Valley. You guys saw a little bit more of that cloud covering, a little bit on the cooler side. Those low to mid 70s, especially if you're looking up into parts of the Big Sandy and looking up into Moorhead, still pretty warm, 77 degrees. Most of us dropping into about the upper 60s tonight, partly cloudy skies, and once again, patchy dense fog possible late tonight, early into tomorrow. I know we dealt with a little bit of that earlier this morning. Now, a weak front will be approaching us as we head into your Friday, which is going to bring back a few of those scattered rain chances, but high pressure moves in pretty quickly behind it, which will make for a beautiful weekend. And after that, more rain on the way. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.
All right. Thank you, Paige. Schools across Kentucky are focusing heavily on safety procedures this year following the signing of Senate Bill 1. Schools are using buzzer systems, asking questions, and requiring photo IDs for all visitors. Floyd County is taking the new procedures one step further, requiring visitors to leave keys in the front office if they intend to go into the school. Superintendent Danny Atkins says this extra step is all about guaranteeing student safety.
We have so many entries and exits to our buildings that they wouldn't necessarily have to come back through that front door to leave. Atkins says parents have been generally supportive of the changes.
It is National Farmers Market Week, and in Whitesburg, government officials stopped by to celebrate. They talked about the Kentucky Double Dollars program that is promoting healthy eating. Whitesburg has hosted Thursdays on the Town throughout the summer, and the farmers market has been its center point. WYMT's Emily Bennett has more.
Everyone has been told fresh, local food is best.
You can't compare what you buy locally to something that's laying in the grocery store.
Seth Long is the owner of Southdown Farms in Letcher County. He is one of the 15 farmers that come to the Whitesburg Farmers Market.
It's not like a grocery store. When you go to a grocery store, I'm glad for them, but it's a transaction. You go, you pick it out, you might talk to the cashier, you might not. Here, every transaction is relational.
And this week is National Farmers Market Week, celebrating the markets and the Kentucky Double Dollars program.
Farmers get more money in their pocket, and folks get, especially those folks who are most vulnerable, get increased access to fresh and healthy food.
The Double Dollars program is for those who use SNAP and several farmers market nutrition programs. It is simple. For every dollar you spend, you get an extra dollar to buy more produce.
The Double Dollars program helps the produce to be affordable to people that couldn't afford it, so that we can get into their hands locally raised fresh produce that I really believe is more nutrient rich.
It helps the economy to grow.
And every dollar that comes into the market just circulates within the community and really multiplies its benefit.
And brings the community together.
They're coming back week after week to us, and some of them, it'll be a greeting, sometimes it's a hug.
Building relationships year after year. In Letcher County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
41 farmers markets across Kentucky participate in the Double Dollars program. Whitesburg's was one of the first. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, 4 people are dead after a mass stabbing in California. And experts say their predictions for this year's hurricane season are changing. What they say we should now expect.
And rain chances increase as a weak front moves in tomorrow. We'll have a look at that full forecast coming up.